We have two statues here on the bridge and they represent workers from CHARLEROI. There's a long tradition on this city. A lot of people came to work on the mines. This was a very rich city at some time. Now not anymore, because all of them, they don't work anymore. So they are deactivated, all these people. They are living on welfare now. I'm Susana, I'm from Portugal. I'm working now in CHARLEROI as a flight attendant. I used to be a journalist before. But as everyone knows, there's a big crisis in all Europe. Like me, there's a lot of people coming from all over Europe to work here, and we are between 200 to 300 people working here. The country is new for us, so we all try to adapt somehow. We didn't speak the language at the beginning. Some of us, we are trying to learn because it's useful for us. CHARLEROI Airport basically serves all the country, serves all Belgium, brings a lot of people here, traveling from all over Europe. A lot of workers, so the city is growing. It would never definitely be the same without this airport. We are walking in one of the most beautiful streets from CHARLEROI. If we can call it beautiful, there's not many beautiful things to see around actually, but this is one of the most richest shopping streets. So the rich people can buy very expensive things here. Now, when I think of going back to Portugal, I'm not really sure I want to go back. At least it's not the time, the proper time for sure. The things were already bad when I left the country. They are even worse now. I don't think I will have many opportunities to work there and to make my life there, not right now. So I will look for something around in Europe, maybe in the rest of the world.
Mes études d'éducateur et je travaille dans une école primaire et gardienne.
Et c'est le métier que tu as maintenant?
Non, maintenant je vais faire policier. Donc je travaille dans la police, j'ai fait mes tests, donc on verra quoi. En fait CHARLEROI c'est vraiment une ville européenne, il y a vraiment toutes les nationalités possibles, tout le monde s'entend bien, tout le monde est vraiment en cohésion, donc c'est parfait quoi.
Ok, et maintenant vous avez beaucoup d'immigration encore ou c'est un peu terminé après que les mines ont fermé?
Non, il y en a encore. Hein. Mais je trouve que c'est bien, il faut de la diversité, il faut vraiment mélanger les peuples, il ne faut pas rester sur un peuple restreint, il faut vraiment tout mélanger et que tout le monde vive ensemble, c'est ce qu'il y a de mieux. Quoi.
No, I don't think I made any friends since I'm here. Maybe my landlady, she's the only one, I guess. I have a few colleagues in Portugal working there, but the thing is, the situation is never too stable. The salaries are not high as well, so they manage to live and that's it. They have the basic they can have. Probably they cannot even find a place on their own. They have to count with the help of the family, of the parents. Since I arrived to CHARLEROI, I knew that I didn't want to stay here forever, but it's already temporary for 3 years now. And I'm looking for other alternatives. I'm trying to make plans to leave this place. And no, I cannot imagine spending my life here. My plan is to be a journalist again or to work in communication, but definitely not being a flight attendant for the rest of my life. We have the airport here, the ramp. The way they take off or land, it really depends of the wind. Each day it can change. Like today I could see they are landing from that side here, so probably they take off on the opposite direction. Vivian? Hello, it's Susana here. Look, I have some people with me who wants to film you tomorrow during your kayak thing. When you go for your kayak, they want to film you. You, Andrea, Sara. Yeah? Okay. Bisous, ciao. But not smoking and talking. It's not really nice. CHARLEROI airport started here. This is the old terminal. When the low-cost companies started moving here, there was no space anymore because it was growing too fast. So they had to build a new terminal, and even the new terminal is still growing. So they are building more space for the aircraft. They are building more check-in desks. We don't know how the future is going to be, but it's still in process. So I live in Ransard. It's still CHARLEROI area, but it's the closest neighborhood to the airport. It's the nicest one, I think, and it's very calm. Normally we share houses with other cabin crew, with pilots. It's rare that we have a house on our own, so we used to share. I live with other 5 people. So in Belgium I don't have the sun, but I have a nice garden. In the few sunny days that we have during the year, we can manage to come here and take a bit of sun, read, rest for a bit. My family over there, my sister, my closest friends, my best friends back in Portugal. My sister comes very often. She's a nurse. She doesn't have a job in Portugal for the moment, so she would prefer to stay there actually, but she doesn't have the chance, so she's trying to look for a job here, and like this she can come and live with me. We were just 2 journalists in that newspaper, so, well, you can imagine 2 journalists, we have to do a bit of everything. It was not well paid at all, and we didn't have a place for us to work. So, I mean, when I look back, I left already for those reasons, and now is even worse, the general scenario, so I don't see myself going back there anytime soon. I think I have to look for opportunities more than for dreams or what I really would like to do. I mean, I have to deal with the crisis, and the crisis is out there, so... Sim, São Cristina.
Olá, madame, está boazinha?
Sim, e vais-me ser.
Também. Devia fazer-te mais ou menos de meia horita.
Sim.
Mas pronto, ela fez-me várias perguntas, já fez bastantes, mas acho que no geral correu tudo bem. Portanto, eles não são daqueles que vais com qualquer um, pronto, querem que vais com... que eles consideram um bom nível lá.
Pois. E ela, quanto a isso, não te disse se tinhas um nível suficiente ou não?
Não.
Ok.
Não.
Pois agora é só esperar. Não surgiu mais nada por aí, entretanto, pois não?
Não, por aqui nada. Então vá lá jantar.
Manda beijinhos a toda a gente.
Tchau,
Sim?
beijinhos.
Então vá, tchau.
Beijinhos à mãe. Tchau.
Beijinhos.
E do pai.
Tá bem.
E do pai também. Bye!
In the previous house I was living, still in this area, in this neighborhood, the neighbors were actually a bit strange, not very friendly.
Ça c'est le lit ici, voilà. Voilà.
Et c'est la famille.
Ah
Et
oui.
toute la famille. Ce sont les parents de mon mari ici. Voilà.
Et à côté, votre parent.
Et ça c'est notre photo de mariage.
Ah, c'est vous.
Voilà, et mon mari. Non, on a tout le confort, mais la vie est fort exigeante. On a, de mon temps, quand j'étais petite, bon, les vacances, on ne partait pas en vacances comme ça à l'étranger. Maintenant, tout le monde réclame ses vacances. C'est les grandes vacances, c'est les sports d'hiver, c'est les vacances à Pâques.
Alors,
Nous, on
la
n'avait
ligne
pas tout
fixe
ça.
du téléphone, tous les GSM, la télévision, les sorties, les restaurants, etc.
C'est devenu un mode de vie, une consommation terrible. Nous, par exemple, si on se contentait au début, on était allé en vacances, on allait peut-être dans les Ardennes françaises ou belges, à 100 ou 120 km d'ici. Maintenant, si vous ne vous expatriez pas aux 4 coins du monde, vous passez pour un...
On dit que ce ne sont pas des vacances.
Voilà, quoi.
Voilà, c'est meilleur comme ça.
S'il vous plaît.
Merci beaucoup.
Voilà. Voilà un des petits morceaux de fromage.
Bah, dis donc, pour quelqu'un qui n'a jamais versé de bière, je vais passer vraiment pour un
spécialiste. Et le niveau de vie au Portugal, il est comment?
Bon, avec la crise, maintenant, c'est pas bon. C'est
Non.
pour ça que
C'est
j'ai
pas
venu ici, pour travailler. Ma sœur, elle vient aussi. Elle est infirmière.
Comme les Italiens avant sont venus en Belgique et se sont
C'est la même
établis.
chose.
Et pour finir, c'est leur deuxième patrie et ne veulent plus partir.
Vous voyez, par exemple, je dirais, si un médecin ne trouve pas de boulot, ben, il pourrait faire infirmier, quoi, c'est plus bas, vous comprenez? Ça, on pourrait... Mais bon...
Même s'il ne trouve pas dans ce qu'il a étudié directement, il peut prendre un métier qui peut approcher ou un autre métier, et puis, ben, disons que si vraiment il a l'intelligence, un jour ou l'autre, les portes s'ouvriront pour lui, hein, dans ce qu'il veut ou n'importe quoi. C'est une sélection, je ne vais pas dire naturelle, mais il n'y a vraiment que les plus forts, les plus forts, les plus performants à l'école, les têtes de classe dans tous les domaines, que ce soit dans l'ingénieur ou dans les médecins ou dans n'importe quel type de métier, c'est toujours... La place revient au plus fort.
Les patrons essaient toujours d'avoir les meilleurs candidats. Hein.
Parce que la société, à l'heure actuelle, pour moi, la société n'est pas faite pour les plus faibles. Les faibles, ça peut être quelqu'un qui a étudié quelque chose, mais qui n'a pas eu une extrême intelligence. Bon, il arrive à avoir un petit diplôme, tant bien que mal, mais il n'est pas vraiment une grosse tête. Eh bien, celui-là, il n'a pas autant de chance hein, de trouver, parce que le monde appartient au plus fort. Hein. C'est certain. Hein.
When I left home just a week before, and I never been kissed by a woman before. I know that took me by the hand. So go little boy, I'm gonna make you a man. I'm not the world's most difficult man. When I look in her eyes, we're both better for my Lola. La 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 Lola. La 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 Lola. Lola. La 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 Lola. La 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 Lola.
We always go out with the people we're working, basically, that's all. I mean, you don't have that much choice. How do you meet people? You work in the airport, then you go home, you rent a house from someone that you don't know. The only place is this and...
Actually, I'm an English teacher, so it's not really similar, I guess. It's 5 days, then 2 days off. It's basically to sleep over. In Poland, if you just have an average job and you want to live in a big city, it's not enough. You wanted to go to a party or to a cinema, it was always like, oh my god, I don't have enough money to go to the cinema. And here, we do whatever we want. Let's go to the cinema, okay, let's go to Brussels, let's go to do some sightseeing, let's fly to Barcelona, let's fly to, I don't know, Faro, let's fly to Bari, let's fly to Göteborg.
I know that I don't want to live in Poland, so that's why I left Poland. And yeah, but I don't want to stay in Belgium either. So
I guess that's the problem, that we don't know what we want to do in our lives.
J'ai 22 ans, je suis électricien. Je travaille à Wavre, à Bruxelles, dans une société d'électricité panneaux photovoltaïques. On n'aide pas les gens à leur donner du travail. On n'a pas d'aide ni rien du tout.
Si je réussis, je ferai avocate, donc à mon avis, j'aurai pas mal de boulot. Et donc, je pense pas que je verrai le temps passer, quoi.
Moi, ce serait de travailler à l'armée.
Plus tard, je pense que je partirai de Charleroi.
Moi, c'est pareil. Dans 5 ans, si ça continue comme ça, je pars à Namur, Bruxelles, Mons, Liège, mais plus rester à Charleroi. Les gens sont pauvres à Charleroi.
We're gonna go to south part of Belgium, really wide part, to do kayak. You like house music? I'm working in the airport for 6 years now. I studied tourism and Japanese at school. The crisis here in Belgium, yes, we have as well, like everywhere in Europe and everywhere in the world. But here in the airport of Charleroi is different because people want to travel, to change their mind.
It's really nice.
It's really beautiful. Can I do the photos?
But hide the mobile.
Oh, Fifi, we have to hide the mobile and the boobs. Les mains, c'est très froid. Hein?
Voilà. Je dois encore faire une interview avec les belles femmes ici. Ja, salut.
Salut. We're going to buy one apartment near to the sea.
Yeah.
And do one restaurant. She's gonna cook with the mother and I will be the waitress, and yeah. No, because she cooks well, and that's why if I start to cook, maybe not all of them will like it. So we were planning anyway to live in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro.
And what? And where?
It was not Rio.
Okay, it's Rio. She decides everything. I wanted to be a meteorologist. When I was 18, I started to pay my study in my university. I went to work part-time, and I was working with a lot of immigrants. And I said, okay, I want to feel the same what they are feeling, like missing home, missing family, and I wanted there with 17 years old. I'm working for Ryanair like only 1 year. I felt my world so small, and I said I need to do something bigger for me. Look, they are doing the kayak. I think it will turn away. We are gonna drown. Yeah, it's really nice. Down there. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. I have a normal life, I can say, because I go to work, I come back, I sleep in my place, and I can go to meet my friends, the Ryanair friends, and the other friends as well. So for me, it's nice. It's a pleasant life for me. Well, what can I say? My parents are so proud of me.
Welcome! Ladies and gentlemen, Ryanair is delighted to welcome you to Brussels at CHARLEROI, 15 minutes ahead of schedule. We kindly ask you please remain in your seat with your seatbelt securely fastened until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the speech switched off for you. Please take care when you are overhead overhead lockers as fallen items can fall out cause injuries.
For passengers who have,
please
refrain from doing so until you reach Okay, so
okay, we can do the safety demonstration.
We can take a loan for about 5,000 Swedish crowns. It's about 500 euros, and then we get like
we get the support of almost 300 euros per month that we get from the government. I know that I'm always gonna be fine because of the welfare system in a way. So maybe, I don't think so in my case, but maybe it makes you a bit more less hardworking.
I have friends that like start something and then they like no, then they start something else, no. So because we can.
I think I'm gonna owe the government like 10,000 euros at least after this. My parents are still paying off their loans and they're like 53.
Can you introduce us your feet? So you can see how much hard work you put in this. And
you're so used to pain.
Does it change your foot?
It really matters. The dance changes. You are creating muscles. My boyfriend, he's a circus artist, and he has a strange muscle here just because he's all the time balancing on the wire. Now I'm gonna show you something that I got today, and this is really normal.
I just really need a coffee right now. I'm so tired. This is also the place I'm going to work in this summer. It's right here. She said my schedule is already made, but I haven't seen it. So it's gonna be exciting. Powerful and citrus fresh, berry and elegant, filling and spicy. I hate when it's too many choices. Really hard deciding. You never know when you make a less good choice. You don't want to miss out on the good things.
If you're just dancing, I think you don't have that much to share if you don't have a passion for something else also. We have customers that comes back every evening or every morning, and I love to see them again, have a little talk. So sometimes one people can make your day just by saying something nice. Most of the time I'm too tired to even think about going out. I can do it, of course, just as a cost of slept hours.
Well, it's this guy who's been robbing old people, and she finally got him. No one messes with Barbro. That's what we call a planka. It was like 90s music, like Paradiso and stuff like that. And we started like dancing salsa. I don't know any salsa, but he just threw me around on that floor. That was so funny. Look at you! Anna used to go to our class. She was in our class. You're teaching now.
I'm teaching now dance and...
Okay, right now we are gonna see my boyfriend performing at one of the Stockholm's dance schools.
I did some events, like some little performance that I got paid for once in a while, but not too much. The most thing that people do on the side of the performing is teaching circus to kids or to adults, or having workshops of their discipline to learn to people. But you don't really need to have a side job.
I remember my growing up time in Jana, like I think a lot about the nature, and like it's pretty much the countryside. It's nature everywhere.
When everybody knows each other, it's so hard to change who people perceive you as. Even though you feel like you might not be that person, then people perceive you as that person.
Ja, just det. Precis.
Alright, so go get the car from my mom's job. I'll see you in a minute.
So we're gonna wait for my dad here, because he's picking us up to go out to the area where I used to go to school. It's like a Steiner Center. It's pretty interesting buildings for some people. It's a good place to visit when you're here.
I don't know if you have heard of the anthroposophic movement. They don't only talk, they don't only think, they do things too.
When I was a kid, I thought like it was sketchy with organic food and stuff. Why do we have to be different, Mom and Dad? I don't want to be different.
And here is a farm, big farm. All the farm around here are organic. Shall we go to the school first? Public school. It wasn't the same as TYRA says, mostly for the brain, not for the hand, not for the heart.
I didn't really like it at the time. I thought it was weird. This is a classroom. In this classroom I was probably 9 years. Yeah. And you eat and do everything in the same classroom. We get food here from our own kitchen. Organic food.
But the idea is that you go 12 years in the same school. It has its own thinking where every year has a theme, you could say, that you should grow up in. So when you're 18, 19 years old, you leave the school and ready for going out to the world. Many of the pupils don't go directly from this school to the university because they travel, they work, they experience things, and then they study when they are 25 maybe or 27.
1, 2, 3. Well, we're going to my cousin's place. It's his 20th birthday tomorrow, so he's gonna celebrate it.
Hello!
Hey,
Hello!
Ingen
massage.
Behöver en babushka? Ja, jag behöver en babushka.
Anton. This is my son, TYRA's brother. I should repeat that. I could never imagine that. On the opposite, when Anton started to play net poker, I said, that's the way to a disaster. Because you will lose and you will get dependent on playing and all this like a parent.
And here I am.
Now we're starting to get dependent on his incomes.
Now we're dependent on it.
Lukas.
En Turas cousin's mother.
Tack så mycket. Varsågod. Grattis på födelsedagen.
Oj, kolla en 1000-lapp. Det är helt sjukt.
Oj.
Tack så mycket, verkligen.
You know, he's a poker pro. Av vad ska han leva? Av vad ska han leva? Av vad ska han leva ut i 100:e år? Av kärlek ska han leva, av kärlek ska han leva, av kärlek ska han leva ut i 100:e år.
Yeah, we're going now to the little eco village where I live and where TYRA's lived for some years. It's a small society with 6 households, and we built new houses that are more sufficient with the energy systems and the systems of taking care of the lawn, what do you say, the shit.
I definitely come here too seldom. I think maybe like when I get old or something, then I should move out to the countryside again. But I mean, there aren't many good dance schools or dance jobs out here, so that's why I couldn't be here.
Potatoes, that's the only thing I have planted this season. But it's going to be all different salads, zucchini, pumpkins, potatoes, carrots, garlic. Well, den sparar vi. Det är ett kungsljus.
This one is apparently very precious.
It's very beautiful flowers. I like to do my plant. I don't like this only. I have to shade.
My name is Ana Maria Crăciun and a professional puppeteer. I studied at the National University of Drama and Cinema, and now I do life insurance. I was an associate professor. I had only some classes. That's what they give from the Ministry of Culture, I think. I made some classes pro bono, but I couldn't afford it. I had to have something to eat, to have some money, so I had to go. Da? Okay, hai să mergem mai față. Your presence is a bit confusing for us. I'm trying to focus and I cannot focus at the yeah, I don't want to be late, so can I ask you to stay here because I don't know if you have permission. To a restaurant. They wanted to go out, have a drink, so it wasn't difficult for me to find something, but it's not in my domain. I worked nights, cut my hands, stuff like that, just to create, because I think I'm a creator.
piața muncii pentru tinerii din România nu este așa favorabilă. Mi se pare că este greu pentru ei să o ia de la început, nu se oferă șansă în sensul ăsta, dovadă faptul că pleacă foarte mulți peste hotare să muncească.
Este că dacă vrei să muncești, poți să muncești și că poți să câștigi și mi se pare extraordinară piața de muncă pentru tinerii din România și doar tinerii care nu vor să muncească nu muncesc.
Oarecum greu, pot să spun așa, în momentul în care îți cauți în prima fază, dar atunci când ajungi la punctul pe care ți l-ai dorit sau începi să ai primul job, începi să-ți dai seama că îți place ceea ce faci.
Jobul visurilor mele, apropo de ce ați întrebat mai devreme, este să fiu jurnalist. Pentru că asta am făcut, asta am terminat și asta îmi doresc. Dacă se va putea, într-un viitor îndepărtat sau apropiat, voi vedea.
Înainte să lucrez aici, de fapt în timpul facultății, am făcut chimia și mă bucur că am ales locul ăsta de muncă pentru că nu mi-a plăcut niciodată chimia, nu plăcea să fiu într-un laborator, mi-a plăcut tot timpul să comunic, să vorbesc, să mă plimb, să caut, să găsesc, să-mi pun întrebări. Nu mi-a plăcut să fiu într-un laborator, să fac sticluțe.
Bye-bye, ciao! I think people are waking up in Bucharest. They're all trying to do something, even if it's theater or, I don't know, a lot of things. They're all doing something. I was living only for theater. My family told me it's not good what you're doing, you're too up in the air, you're too much into your theater. You should be a little more on the ground.
They let in a lot of students. This is something I really don't like, just for the sake of making a lot of money. And there are no real criteria. If you have in one class 20 students and there's 10 professors or 5, you do work together. But if you're like 80 students and 20 professors and or something, there's too many people in one place in order to really do something. It's actually improbable to find a job. I'm just curious what would happen, because if we become the population, but we're all lazy, and it's not lazy. There's no such thing as lazy or working or what.
You will not have anything to eat.
No, it's not. No, it's not like that. It's not that. No.
Okay, you can relate. You can
do
ask.
something, but not that whole corporate mythological, career thing. And there's so many ways you could do stuff, But it's all about a mindset.
How do you support yourself right now?
Yeah, my parents.
Because your parents.
Yeah.
I cannot go to rehearse and to create and to stay in the workshop and to build puppets and joints and experience new ways of building because God damn it, I have to eat something. But I don't know. Hai să trec ambele ocupații.
Consultant vânzări. Logistica, ambalaje.
Căsătoriți?
Da.
Copii? Un plan?
S-ar putea
să
fie unul.
E deja sau e pe drum?
Da. Dar e puțin rău.
Trec aici atunci. Pentru că lucrați amândoi. La ce vârstă v-ați gândit să vă retrageți la pensionare?
Cât mai curând.
Ok. Și de ce?
Ca să nu mai fiu nevoie să muncesc pentru alții, să călătoresc.
Ok.
Să nu depinzi de niciun angajator, să fii propriul tău stăpân și atunci când vrei să faci ceva, să faci, când nu ai chef și pur și simplu vrei să-ți iei o vacanță, să pleci.
Și care ar fi visul afacerii? Și
în și prestări, servicii.
Domeniul cred că predomină cel de construcții.
Și aproximativ din toate sursele, cam cât estimați că va fi venitul vostru în anul acesta?
Da, contează foarte mult de ce contracte, pentru că poți să ai o lună în care îți câștigi foarte puțin și poți să ai o lună în care îți câștigi cât câștigai în mod normal în 5 luni.
V-ați gândit să vă îmbunătățiți casa, confortul locativ? Închirie? Da. V-ați gândit să aveți o casă?
Preferăm să investim pentru o firmă de unde să iasă anumiți bani decât să ne legăm la cap un credit care să plătim. Care să nu ne mai permită să facem altceva sau să fie foarte greu să investim și în altceva.
Așa cum ai zis că vrei să călătorești, pe unde, în cât timp, într-un an, 2?
Cât mai repede. Vreau să muncesc, dar pentru mine, să nu mă frece nimeni, să știu eu ce vreau să fac și cât pot să fac.
Așa v-ați văzut de la început, de când ați terminat studiile, făcând asta?
Tot a evoluat de-a lungul crizei. A trebuit să ne adaptăm din mers.
Firma la care lucram și era un broker de asigurări a dat faliment. Și normal, aveam un salariu destul de bun în acea perioadă și m-am trezit deodată fără muncă și neștiind să fac nu aveam experiență în altceva. Și atunci a trebuit să o ia de la zero.
Important e că te gândești că trebuie să te adaptezi, nu?
Exact.
Și asta ar trebui să fie în
deci asta e cea mai mare prostie, aia comunistă, că 25 de ani am fost în fabrica asta, cum să pregătești, nu?
Ce mai mult contează să te
șeful meu este
adaptezi.
inginer de tancuri, de armată și face construcția. Și înainte a lucrat în distribuție de produse alimentare. Și a făcut o grămadă de bani, a avut flotă de nu știu câte tiruri. L-a lăsat, acum face altceva.
Cum vă vedeți în 10 ani?
Nu. O întrebare care nu.
Suntem la interviu pentru slujbă.
E o întrebare la care cred că în momentul de față...
Împreună. Asta e singurul răspuns.
Da, răspuns în general.
Gata, Obi. I cannot let him go because he will get so dirty.
Când am venit în București în anul 2004, m-am angajat la spital universitar, lucrez ca asistent medical. Și în rest nu fac mai nimic, câștig existența din asta. Dar e foarte ok, am un serviciu stabil. Prietenele mele sunt căsătorite și trăiesc din ceea ce câștigă soțul. Ele sunt casnice, nu lucrează. Doar 2 prietene cunosc și nu lucrează. Din păcate nu și-au găsit așa ușor de muncă, probabil și datorită faptului că n-au fost pregătite profesional sau pentru că oricum este dificil de găsit de muncă în România, asta se știe destul de bine.
I found him on the streets. He's very independent. He got me going because I knew, okay, I have to go and get some work to find money to feed him. I remember one time that I was praying, please, God. I had no money left, and I was searching other jackets in the house, and I found the right amount of money to buy bread and food for the dog, and I was so happy. Yeah, it was great.
Mi racconti le sue esperienze professionali?
Io mi sono diplomato nel 2004 come ragioniere. Sono stato fortunato poiché la mia famiglia aveva un'azienda tessile di tintura e finissaggio cotone. Sapendo appunto di questa opportunità in famiglia ho deciso di prestare opera a servizio lì da loro. Ecco. Pensavo che quella fosse stata per sempre la mia strada, certo. Non pensavo troppo al futuro e a quello che sarebbe potuto accadere da lì a 8 anni a quella parte. Avevo portato anche un mio curriculum vitae se lo vuole visionare.
Allora, questo non è fatto in formato europeo, non va bene. Siccome quando si cerca lavoro, soprattutto in un momento come questo dove la situazione è abbastanza complessa e non è mai stata così tanto, che cosa sono in grado di fare, che cosa sono in grado di offrire.
Con ciò che ho imparato.
Con quello, sì, rispetto, cioè confrontarlo con quello che il mercato chiede. Però io credo che il lavoro più grosso che comunque lei deve fare è proprio quello adesso. È il lavoro che uno deve fare su di sé, quello non può farlo nessuno.
Su se stesso.
Quello non può farlo nessuno.
Esatto.
Deve farlo lei.
Certo.
Per fare che cosa? Ma io non ho soldi, cioè devo anche andare a prelevare. Devo passare comunque. No vai, posso passare un attimo da casa, tanto io comunque ho finito là. Sto tornando in macchina, ma sto tornando a casa.
La Banca Centrale Europea lancia l'allarme di disoccupazione. I senza lavoro cresceranno. L'Italia, Spagna e Italia fanno salire lo spread. Di nuovo scontro sulla riforma del lavoro.
L'intenzione è quella di aumentare ancora l'età del pensionamento. È abbastanza sconfortante perché è come se poi non si lasciasse spazio ai giovani, come se non ci fosse ricambio generazionale.
L'orologio del comune è fermo, metafora capovolta di un paese che non teme il tempo e anzi lo sfida, visto che su 850 abitanti 120 hanno più di 80 anni e 48 superano il 90. Livello di vivibilità che ha attirato anche la competizione mondiale della sanità.
Beh, il segreto c'è qual è? Che mangia la cipolla tutti i giorni.
Ci chiudiamo dentro per sicurezza, mica che qualcuno poi... Apro di là. Qui ci stava praticamente l'attività fulcro. Ovviamente non c'è più niente perché i macchinari sono stati venduti e sono stati praticamente mandati all'estero. L'attività ha dovuto cessare perché comunque non c'erano più utili, non c'erano più introiti e onde evitare di creare una sorta di catastrofe abbiamo deciso di porre fine praticamente a tutto. Questi erano gli uffici. Pronto? Non so cosa dire, adesso io comunque proverò a guardare bene nei cassetti, negli armadietti che sono rimasti per vedere se dovessi trovare qualcosa riguardante appunto questi macchinari venduti, però non le assicuro niente, altrimenti sento anche un attimo mio padre per trovare una soluzione, ecco. Non te li ricordi, pa? Quegli schemi che abbiamo visto, tutti perimetrali, cioè che c'era solo la traccia praticamente del macchinario. Non lo so, ce li avevi te? Sono spariti. Spariscono le cose. Il mio ruolo futuro sarebbe stato quello di andare a sostituire la figura di mio padre. Non avrei avuto la necessità un giorno di trovarmi praticamente senza un lavoro, senza un'occupazione, senza soldi e dover reiniziare tutto da capo. Ecco, questa zona è molto importante perché rappresenta l'inizio di tutto, la genesi praticamente di questa attività, perché qui mio nonno installò la stamperia, perché questa attività è iniziata come stamperia, poi nel corso degli anni si è sviluppata, si è ampliata ed è arrivata praticamente a diventare una tintoria industriale.
accettato ancora? No, meno male, dai. Se no sarebbe stato ingestibile. L'anno prossimo. Grazie, ciao. Chiaramente ciò che mi interessa è comunque riportare la mia esperienza avuta in azienda lì. Qualcosa comunque sia ho imparato, secondo me anche addirittura più importante di tutto ciò che ho preso durante il ciclo scolastico. E solamente che, come già spiegavo, sono conoscenze tessili di un settore che in Italia è morente, è agonizzante.
E come ti vedi da qua a 10 anni?
Come mi vedo non posso rispondere perché il futuro è, secondo il mio punto di vista, l'incognita per antonomasia. Se noi conoscessimo già il nostro percorso terreno sarebbe inutile dal mio punto di vista vivere, per cui non ci penso, vivo day by day, alla giornata. Madre, ciao! Indovina dove sono? In un posto magnifico, mamma mia, la Veno Mombello, qualcosa di incredibile, veramente è una paesaggistica suggestiva da cartolina, decisamente. Aria pulita.
Conosco gente, ti dico i miei amici, che sono usciti da un perito elettronico, per dirti che perito elettronico, lavoro, adesso ti stanno impacchettando i profiterol per tutto il mondo.
Io avevo uno che aveva studiato solo non so che cosa, ma era una cosa di tanti anni aveva studiato, che facevi i soldi, è andato a fare alla Whirlpool a catena di montaggio, per dirti, sono andato in terza media e poi basta. Ho fatto un anno di superiore, poi mi sono ritirato, ho fatto cameriere, però a fortuna mia quando ho lasciato la scuola ho trovato un po' di lavoro. Per un po' di anni ho lavorato. Adesso ad agosto mi hanno lasciato a casa perché è nato in crisi, ma ti richiamiamo in autunno, vai tranquillo, poi è nato in crisi, cassa integrazione a tutti.
Mio padre fino a 2 anni fa erano in 20, vuol dire grande industria, 20 operai, adesso lavorano in 2, lui e il datore di lavoro. È arrivato uno a sistemare un macchinario, gli ha detto ho girato Varese e molte fabbriche sono chiuse e molte in fallimento. Vivere in 5 in casa tra l'affitto si alza, lo stipendio si abbassa, il cibo aumenta il prezzo, lo stipendio si abbassa, fidati che è difficile, alla fine del mese non ci arrivi, tipo arrivi alla terza settimana, però l'ultima settimana è brutto.
Io abbasserei un po' gli stipendi dei politici e anche come giocatori e li darei un po' alle famiglie che muoiono di fame o che non lavorano, perché certe famiglie che stanno a casa, hanno i figli e tutti sono disoccupati, non sanno come fare, certi si impiccano. Quasi tutti i giorni si sente che uno si è impiccato, l'altro si è buttato giù dal treno, si è buttato, è una cosa un po' brutta. Adesso faccio a chiamata, faccio alle pompe funebri lavoro. Il becchino.
Beh, cavolo, è un bel lavoro, è quello che non finisce mai.
Io se mai dovrò lasciare questo paese lo rimpiangerò per questo, perché comunque la natura qui è fenomenale. La gente un po' meno, in realtà qui non c'è niente e non si fa un cazzo. Io ho lavorato lì ai traghetti per quasi un anno e quello sarebbe stato anche un bel lavoro se non fosse stato per il fatto che comunque stai sempre lì col fiato sospeso, sei uno stagionale, lì ci sono solo stagionali e non puoi farci una carriera, vabbè che oramai non si fa da nessuna parte. Le case sono tutte case che posseggono persone anziane, comprare una casa qui costa, chi fa famiglia o chi è giovane non può permettersi un affitto del genere. Guarda che bella sta casa.
Che architettura.
È la casa di Batman. C'è un mio amico che va in Canada, ragazzi. Va in Canada, si è trovato chi lo tiene per un anno. C'ha il permesso di soggiorno per un anno, no, tutt'altre roba di donne.
Ha trovato la tipa canadese?
Ha trovato la tipa canadese e stasera gli facciamo l'addio. Qua è stata combattuta la battaglia di Laveno, di Garibaldi, che è sceso in piazza e ha detto chi è con me? E poi è andata anche in altri modi. Lingue, io ho studiato lingue. Io ho sempre avuto bisogno di una motivazione, di uno stimolo. Purtroppo nelle scuole questa cosa non esiste, non si fa, l'idea, la creatività è sempre tenuta da parte, è sempre un eseguire. Ci abituano a queste cadenze, a queste scadenze, a tutti questi obblighi. Alla fine non è una scuola, sembra di stare... è un ingranaggio. Adesso sto cercando di entrare come volontario nei Vigili del Fuoco, perché è un lavoro dove effettivamente impari, no? Socialmente utile, e è un vero lavoro, un mestiere, cioè senza Vigili del Fuoco, senza muratori, senza medici non va avanti niente. I lavori in Italia li trovi per raccomandazioni, per amicizie, non di certo perché sai far qualcosa, tanto che non si fa carriera. Io conosco gente che per dirti è andata a Londra a fare il barista e si è trovata a fare il cuoco.
Giù sai il discorso che c'è in ballo dell'azienda che ormai è in liquidazione da circa un anno. Ciò che rimane andrà tutto in rottame ferroso, ecco, non penso che avrà una destinazione diversa purtroppo, quindi anche lì poi sai che comunque ti spiegavo da parte nostra,
di ditte in Italia non ce ne sono più.
Welcome to the Mercedes-Benz Museum, and we're just going in for having a look at the history of Mercedes-Benz cars, starting with the probably most important one, or the most famous one, the gull-wing Mercedes-Benz TYRA DESIO. Hi, my name is Paul, I'm 23 years old and I found my dream job at Daimler. I studied mechatronics and vehicle system engineering for 3 years in a university combined to Daimler. And afterwards I joined in the climate controls research and development department, doing climate controls for the SL and the SLK. I've always dreamed of becoming an engineer, especially dreamed of designing cars. I wanted to know, how is it working? How is this engine working? Why has it so much power? And how can I get even more power in it? This was always the intention, so I started. I was a little boy and my father used to drive not a Mercedes, but my uncle drove one and was like sitting in it, and he got this big V8 engine in it, and after a few times he got me into the car and I was allowed to drive with him. That was pretty cool, and so I started. Afterwards I was pretty interested in sports and I visited a boarding school at the Olympic Training Center for fencing, and so I always liked this combination of sports and elegance. And this is why from sports and to pretty exclusive cars I came to Mercedes-Benz. I tried to show the connection to this car and to the history of the Mercedes as well. Although I'm only 23 years old and this one is about 33 years more older than me. University and Mercedes-Benz were combined or working together the whole way. So if you want to say it like Daimler raised up, got you after your A-levels or after passing school and raised you up to become an engineer. You always have a special focus on combining the theoretical knowledge you get in university combined to your practical application. What can you do with this knowledge? What are you doing with it? So Daimler offers you not only the university and the money, but also like a big house only for new guys working for the company. They offer you lower rents on that. Then they offer you sport clubs. They got its own sport clubs. Like everyone can join in, and you can do pretty much sports there. Sailing, climbing, running. And I jumped into the climbing and sailing one. There's not really the need to drop off the company. If you really want to change what you're working on, what you're doing, you can just go to another department or another area. You can go to industrial design. You can drop off the question, how could a car look like, to the question, how could this one be built? You can do the robots in it. You can do all this idea. How can you get new materials in it, like green materials? How can you do on this? So this is only, and even these three aspects are only like a few percent of that what you might do on cars. Change the question to drop off? No way. When you go down, you got like the first rally cars of the Mercedes SL over there. The day when I got my contract of Mercedes-Benz joining into this student programship, I gave my father a call and he was like, okay, I could tell you when you were 5 years old that you were going for the cars. What I really like about the car is this line over here, because it's very classic in a way, but also sporty and elegant. If you see the car, it looks like just elegant and perfectly made, and this is what makes it legendary in a way. And then you just go by the car and see it again. People have different feelings about heating and cooling. Normally you want to have like your food pretty warm and don't want the hot air into your face. Other people would like that. So this is totally subjective and you try to fit both of them. How you can do that, this is the real, it's like kind of art. You just go in and you open the door, and when you just close it, the special noise, it sounds like you hear it, it's quality. Or anyone closing a door would think, what is this sound? It doesn't feel good. And this makes the first impression of a car. It's really a little tiny part of this huge car and this huge concept. But as soon as you know that there's special focus on it, it makes it valuable, it makes it important. And this is what changes you every day. And when you wake up in the morning, you know you're trying to work on this. You have to get new ideas on it. You have to work on it that it's still staying the best we can have. There's so many different ways which I can go, so I can find my very own way without changing the company. So, of course, friends of mine or my surrounding, which I went to school with, asked me whether I don't want to change something because I'm pretty young and it's a kind of settled life which I can start over here. But it's always fascinating. There's always new challenges, and so I have the positive things of having a really fixed job with a fixed contract. But on the other hand, every day there are new things which are keeping you in mind and which are fascinating you. I'm a pretty precise guy, and in the morning there has to be a fixed scheme which I can follow. So my clothing is always prepared. So I just can go take a shower, grab my clothes and get some breakfast. So I normally leave the house at about 6 in the morning and go to work. So I work at about 6:45. many people work for the automotive industry in Stuttgart. So it is a pretty big employing company, and many people live from these from the jobs these companies give them. Because this factory is offering a lot of jobs, especially for engineers, many people try to study engineering in this area, or they after graduation they come here in order to find a job in the automotive industry or in the as industrial engineer, for example, maybe a design engineer. I'm not quite sure what we really like the real dream or what I wanted to do, but I'm quite sure I would love to work still on cars in my leisure time. It's like restoring my own ones, get old cars and working on them and do like real mechanic work. This is what I like because it's giving me some time to get to a material car, but it's not like a job, it's more like a passion, and I really love that. I would love to do that more on the weekends or something, get my own little garage where I can do that. So today we're in the city park doing some runs, and normally we do it with some colleagues just to get off all stuff from work. So we give you a little impression of this park now. Even though it looks from the outside that the days and the studies are pretty strict, it gives you a lot of freedom actually. You get a freedom to choose when you want to start to work, when you want to end to work. So you have the chance to do your leisure time right suitable to your working time. The running itself is more like you got plenty of time thinking again of something else. You got the time of thinking what your problems are really, and then you're going to focus again on the main topic. So you got, first of all, it's the time thinking of something. In the second way, you got fresh air, your whole body is moving, and by that it seems like the stress factors and the barricades in your head are just falling, and you got the new ideas on your problem which might be solving them.
The program was on a 3-year based contract, finishing with a bachelor's degree, and all in all it was a permanent switch for 3 months studying and 3 months in the company, where you learn different locations of the company. For us, especially in Germany, but every one of us also had the chance to go abroad for an internship for 3 months. For example, I was in New York and had a great time there. When you come from high school, you're very young, and the companies can influence in a very strong way. You probably don't really learn to think free, but you're just 18 or 19 and just connected to a company and to the business life, and you just have your 30 days of vacation every year, and you're not in this you aren't in this real student life.
Often I'm wondering if it was the right thing I did, and if I would like to do it again if I have the chance to, and I would do the same, and I like it, and I like what I do, and I'm happy about the opportunities I have here at this company and in this city and in this country. But also on some days I'm a bit jealous on people that are traveling around and that they are looking for the correct way, and that they have the chance to see maybe this way is correct for me, or this way is the best, or I just want to go to, I don't know, for like fishing on the ocean or whatever. And this is an opportunity I didn't have, or I didn't take. I could have done it, but I didn't do it. We here in Germany, I think we have a kind of a luxurious situation, and we do have many interesting companies and many good jobs and good education, and therefore I think many people would like to have more kind of freedom. But on the other side, if I wouldn't have a job at the moment, and if I need to look for money every day for my food and whatever, then I guess I would love to have a secure job and a secure monthly salaries.
We have a pretty careless life, but we think about where do I have to go on the vacation? I have some time. It's not do I have the money, but do I have the time to do a vacation, for example, in the US? And it's a luxury problem, but yeah, on the other side, I mean, of course, it's the best thing you can have. But I agree to Claudius, he's right. You always want to do that, what you don't have. So people just also say, hey, I quit, I will travel around the world without money or with the money I made in the last years and then come back and find a job again. So, I mean, it's a really special situation in Germany that maybe the things we say, it's people who are living in other countries where they study and don't get a job would say, hey, are you totally crazy? But for us it's, yeah, we just leave and come back and the situation didn't really change for a lot of people. And so maybe this is just to understand why some of us just say, hey, it would be cool to just travel around the world, maybe not be so secure, because it's always a backup solution there.
On the one hand, you really shouldn't put people's education, put people's lifestyle into a fixed frame of things like requirements the market needs at the moment. So as we said before, like there's need about 5,000 engineers, so we create 5,000 engineers. So we are not robots. But on the other hand, I think it is really right for, or it is right for companies grabbing those who have this passion for becoming an engineer, for studying economics or laws or medicine or whatever, and give them the chance to show what they've learned in a practical phase.
If you don't have the passion for engineering, it would be wrong to study engineering, because then when you will work for the next 40 hours without really having fun in this job, that would be the wrong solution. And so I think he's absolutely right. You should do that what you want to do, and if you're good in it, you probably will get a chance to show your skills.
So many people are unemployed. We're not talking about finding the job you want. We're talking about finding a job and be able to pay your expenses. That's a problem. It's not about employed people or unemployed people or economic growth. Let's talk about economic development, because it's a different thing. You know, and development is about foundations. And they destroyed every foundation. Democracy is not the tuxedo you have in your closet and you wear it anytime you want. Because democracy is something sacred, something you keep on you every time. And democracy needs that. To be well informed, have an opinion, and be active. And when I say active, I don't mean throwing stones. I mean active. Know what you vote.
I was studying region science and economic development. Then I started taking lessons for theatric improvisation and then for cinema acting, and then I decided to be professional and I started working. They still owe me money from the last TV serial I worked for. I never got paid for 1 year's work. My plan was and is to keep doing my job. I cannot do that here. So I went the first time to New York to see how people live there. I found out that I can live there. I returned and I had in mind to find some school there and keep working. They told me at the US Customs of Toronto that I'm not good for their country, and they canceled my visa because they said that I was intending to immigrate. Before I leave, I packed everything. I never unpacked. I still keep everything in boxes. You can see it. Here's my life in boxes. All my books, all the films I gathered, covered with dust. I'm the king of dust. It's not right to decide what kind of education you will get according to what the market needs, because we're people. We're not, little parts of a machine. We're people. And we create the needs of the market. People started following careers they never liked. This is Victoria Square. It's full of immigrants. They don't care about stupid things that middle-class Greeks care about. They have real problems. It used to be very expensive neighborhood. Land was very expensive here.
And then what happened?
Real estate tricks. That's a beautiful street. Concrete. During dictatorship was the main product of the country for the next 30 years. We need chicken. 1 or 2? I heard a joke in New York. What are you? I'm an actor. At which restaurant? I cannot sleep. I lost my sleep. Because before, I could find a job anytime. And I told you, I worked since I was 12. Let me see what I've done.
Let me see. We're going to the 8th floor. So, too many antennas. I mean, you know, everybody has his own antenna, but we could just share 1 or 2 antennas could be enough.
You like my mirror? An ex-girlfriend broke it. She was crazy. She got mad. So I remember her every time I shave.
How you spend your day now?
You don't want to know. Since Friday, 2 days ago, I have no job again, so. When they tell you that we will pay you how much we want, when we want, if we want, they devaluate your life because they're trying to convince us that it's not your right to speak free. It's not your right to work and have a decent life. They're trying to make us forget that. We must not forget that.
My dream is to be an architect, but I will not be. I will be a mechanic of medical instrument. Now Greek people are very nervous and they don't know exactly what to do to make some money, and they study whatever they think it's better just to save some money and not for and not because it's dreaming.
I told you it's like a church, it's a sacred place. This is Pnika, the area. This is the place that democracy was born. It's a birthplace. If you see the Parthenon frieze in London, you will see Panathina. It was religious celebration, the highest religious celebration they had in this town, and they had something like today's parade. You can't call it parade, but to imagine what they did, let's call it something like parade. And at the front of the parade, they had the teenagers of the city mounting the most powerful horses. That was the position of the young people in ancient Athenian democracy, because it was the future of the city. And what is the position of young people in Greece today? They're at the end of the parade. That was the value. Youth was a value in ancient Greece. And
When I went to London, I was having that in mind, and it's hard to say, but I was thinking that those teenagers of the Parthenon frieze are now in London because we lost the value. And when we find the value, they will come back with their horses. We don't need to take them, they will come.
You have your horse?
I had my horse, I had to sell it and buy a ticket to the United States.